If you'd like to listen and watch us do our Livin podcast, but you don't have a Spotify account, fear no more, because Livin podcast is now on YouTube. It's free, so make sure you hit subscribe.
I feel like I got a hangover and I didn't have one drink.
I didn't have one drink either.
Not one.
Because I gave up drinking.
Am I living? Oh, what a funny thing to say. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, on a cloudy day. Your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, on a cloudy day. Your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun.
Good morning, everybody.
You can't start it like that.
Good morning, everybody, with my low voice today. This is Nancy Timpano on your Monday morning, along with...
Vince Fusco. Is that people pay extra for that tone?
Oh, my goodness, our low voices. This is post-party voice.
Post-party voices, PPV.
Yeah,
dare we say.
post-party. We are talking about our Livin first birthday party, which actually happened yesterday. This episode is coming out a few weeks after the event. However, this is when we're recording it, and wow, we are still on a high. Sounds like a low.
It sounds like a low, but it feels like a high.
Yeah.
But our physical energy today is a bit low. And I think that's a combination of like the adrenaline.
The adrenaline.
The excitement, the anticipation, dare I say it.
Yeah.
No, what a beautiful day. We've talked about it a lot. We heard the episode a couple of weeks ago. And look, it is still fresh for us because it was only yesterday.
Yes.
But you said this morning, you're like, oh, my voice.
My voice.
My voice.
How low can you go?
How low can you go? What is like?
I can go pretty low. I can.
All right, I want you to give me like
my voiceover days. I can go pretty damn low.
All right, I want you to do this. I want you to do the lowest voice, the most consistently. Like, give me like an introduction, a sentence, an introduction for the show in your deepest voice. Go.
Good morning and welcome to Livin podcast. No, that's just like low volume.
That sounds a little bit.
That's just low volume.
Is that your sexy voice?
No.
So I have questions. I have many questions.
I can't go low when I'm happy. Like, see, because now I'm smiling. So,
okay.
So as soon as you smile, as you know from singing, you smile. It's a brighter sound when you don't.
I don't have the most
smile.
natural low voice. Like I feel like the tonality's there.
I can have a man voice very, very easy every morning.
Every morning?
Man voice.
All right, I'm going to go for my deepest voice, just for funsies.
Okay.
Ready? Good morning and welcome to a brand new episode of Livin podcast with Vince and Nancy. I feel like I should call the cricket.
I think you have just aged 20 years.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
My natural register is quite high. People always say that. They're like, you got a high voice. It's all that castrato singing,
Tight jocks.
Well, there's that too. There's that too. My goodness.
One of the two, but here we are. And look, we are pepping up as soon as we've started. See, it just
Absolutely.
happens.
Well, it's funny because the thing I want to talk about today is owning it.
As I just did.
As you just did.
So bad.
Not just owning your man voice, good for you, but owning awkward situations when you found yourself in a bit of a pickle or a bit of a tight jam with someone, something. Who knows? And I put my foot in it recently, well and truly, but I owned it. Let me tell you, I've got no problem in owning it. And you've done it.
Do I know this story? It just actually makes me
You get like
twitch.
such an anxious twitch about it.
And
it makes total sense too because it's not very often do I find myself having to back it up like that, but owning it. Have you ever found yourself in a position to own something? Maybe you did something wrong. Maybe you called somebody something that you shouldn't have. Maybe you just, sent the message to the wrong person. That's what happened in my case, Nance.
It sure did, Vince. Tell us about it.
Let me tell you. I strap in. A few weeks back, it'll be a month or so ago now, we were looking at some entertainment for
Our birthday party.
Potential entertainment. And there was a very well-known performer that we both know personally.
And respect.
Immensely. Okay, we've known this person for a very, very long time.
Yes.
We've worked with him both individually and together at events. And I sent a message inquiring as to the rates of which they charge. And they sent it back and it was, to me, shocking. And not shocking in the sense of unreasonable, not worth it.
Yeah.
That is not the case.
No.
It is worth every dollar.
Yeah.
But it was more just that in that moment when you get a price, it's price shock for any consumer.
Because
no
maybe
matter
you've
what
got an idea in your head.
And I did.
Yes.
Of what I thought.
What we thought.
But I was way off.
You're not factoring in 30 years experience.
I'm not factoring in the travel. The following. I get all that.
Yeah.
Because, we do the same thing when we price up our packages or on-sites or sponsorship and things like that. It's the return as well as the skill that come with it. And I say the same thing with all of my work. You know what I mean? You're paying for the 20 years of experience to execute it so seamlessly.
Yes.
That's why people pay the money.
Yes.
But this message caught me so off guard that
Your immediate response
my
was,
immediate response out loud to them in text message, I say out loud because they got it. I wrote it, not even thinking. I just wrote.
Your immediate response out loud to me was...
Can I say it? Hang on. I know I can.
Wow.
It was me.
Yes, exactly that.
Exactly that. Me.
Yeah. So
Goodness.
I got the F me message, Nance, we shouldn't question ourselves.
We should not be questioning ourselves. And it's that moment where you doubt yourself, where you're like, I got that message. I looked at it, went, oh my God. We are worrying about what we're charging, not at all. But I wrote that in a text message and sent it directly to that person.
Thinking it was me.
Thinking it was Nance. And then I was like, that's interesting. She hasn't written back immediately. And as I looked at it, I realised I was in the wrong message thread. I had sent it to this person directly, and as I was looking at it and going, oh my God, delete, 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 undo, oh my God.
Because it could have been misconstrued the way if someone else is reading.
1,000%.
Because they don't know what you're thinking.
1,000% this could be misinterpreted.
Yes.
As well as then the fact that I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, why would I even send that? But as I'm looking at it and trying to delete it, red pops up. As in like...
Red, not red.
Not
colour.
red colour, no.
That's his face.
My face was red.
R-E-A-D.
Oh my... As I'm trying to delete it, it then goes to red. So I immediately delete and then start writing, oh my God, I know like...
How that would have sounded.
That's not my intention. And they wrote back very graciously and said, look, I did see your message before you deleted it.
Which made me twitch some more.
Oh my God, you were dying.
I was dying.
But again, like I said, and I said straight out in the message, I said totally. I said, please let me just verify and clarify what I was trying to say. I'm so impressed and in awe of what you do and have been for many, many years. We sit as performers or creatives and you do get that idea in your head sometimes where you're like, am I good enough? Even though you've done it for 20 years, even though you've got the track record, you've got all the credentials, you've got all of the experience. But there's that imposter syndrome that everybody suffers from.
And it's not, am I good enough?
No.
It's like...
are people going to look at that price and go, gee?
Yeah, will people
Same
pay?
thing as, like, you know what I mean? Do
That's
people
right.
see our price and go, me? No, they don't.
Well, they shouldn't because there's some hours and hours of work that goes into it.
100%, 100%. But I owned it with this person straight up and they were more than graceful in coming back and saying, Vince, I totally get it.
Yep.
This has taken me 30 years to get to this point in my own perception of myself and how I then present myself and charge that. And it all comes back to your self-worth, how you see yourself, your skill set, and you should back yourself more.
Correct.
But yeah, and like it was, I just thought that whole situation could have gone belly up very quickly.
It could have, and the thing that like even more respect to this entertainer is the fact that they are continuously, both. Does that make sense?
Yeah, both.
Booked pretty much
Forever.
every weekend.
Yeah, oh my God, 100%.
So respect.
Mad respect.
Respect.
And so, yeah, I owned it. And you were dying.
I was dying.
Yeah, to say the least. You were just like, you can't. And I was like, no, I can. And I've got again, if I make a mistake, I will be the first person to admit my fault.
Until they replied, you were feeling a little bit like embarrassed, uneasy. You were.
Oh, of course I'm embarrassed.
And then how that just changed when you got
Well,
your
no,
reply.
only because I got the reply 2 days later.
Yes.
Like I got the initial reply and we had that first interaction of like, I saw your message, it's all good. Like, this is why I charged this much. And then I wrote another follow-up message being like, totally love your response. Please understand this is where I was coming from and I can see how that might have looked and sounded. And then 2 days later, at a random time in the morning, I got it
Yeah.
at something like 2:30 in the morning, which is the thing that buzzed me out more. Where I was like, woke up
Because
to
he
this
had
message.
his voodoo doll out of you going, no problem,
Steady.
baby.
I didn't sleep that night. That makes sense. Woke up with a crook neck. But it's the idea of, I was a bit uneasy until I got that final message back saying, all good.
And
Well,
that
you've
was
just owned it,
I
though.
owned it
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm still waiting on a response. This could be happening live on this podcast. Is that we've got some friends of the show that, can I say it or not?
I don't see why you can't.
I can't. Well,
I mean, you're
'cause,
owning it.
me,
We're
I
owning it.
own
No,
it.
we're
I
owning
own it. Well, our friends of the show out at Glam Nutrition at Grange,
Yeah.
who they make the most delicious, healthy, guilt-free smoothies. I'm sure a lot of
Guilt-free,
people in the West know exactly who I'm talking about. And the initials Glam is for George, Leah. Was it Angela? I can't remember. Oh my gosh.
You're not good with names, Nance.
I'm not.
I
Well,
want to
help
say it was
me.
Alex.
Yes.
I'm going to say Alex.
Okay, all right, whatever. GLA and M for Michael. That was a fact. However, the Michael was a fact, the George is a fact, the Lee is a fact, the
I'm
A,
just going to do research while you do that.
questionable.
Yep.
So anyway, the last few times I've gone in there, and we've met them and spoken to them, but I think because I go in quite often and just read the sign behind their head as they're serving me, I don't know. Anyway, as I'm leaving, I'm like, thank you so much, Michael. Thank you. See you soon. And as I turn and I walk out,
Does
it's
a little
not
spin on your heels
It's
and
not
out the
Michael's
door.
reaction or anything. It's just something in my gut that goes,
Is it Michael?
is it Michael?
Or is that George?
Is it George? What have I done?
I was
That
right, it is
bloody
Alex.
sign, guys, you're killing me. So I did it again because they sent us a beautiful birthday
They did.
message.
They did.
And I've done it again. And so now I'm just sitting here before we've come on to record and I'm telling Vince, you know what? I need to ask
need
the
to know.
question. So I have literally sent a text saying, excuse me. And I own it, don't I?
You own it. And that's what made
I
me go,
said,
you know what? Let's do the own
okay.
it episode today.
I'm having a brain fart here. Am I calling you Michael and you're George? Don't know why this is on my brain today. So now please respond while we're on air because I am dying a little bit.
Wow. Well,
And I don't mean to offend if I own the fact that I'm bad with names.
100% you owning it.
So we either can't be friends anymore, anyone, or
You know what you should say?
Accept me. What?
What's your name again?
Oh, yes.
You should have just texted me like, hey, sorry, what's your name again? He would have been like, Michael.
Yeah.
And you would have been like, no, your last name.
Yeah. All right, Michael or George, get back on.
Do love George Michael, though.
Oh, yeah. What a combo.
What a combo. We'll talk about that
Either
another
or.
day.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Owning
matter.
it. Now, look, I'm really proud of you for sending that message. And I was right. It is
See,
Alex.
but see,
George, Leah, Alex, and Michael
Yes.
down there.
And I just own it.
But you have to.
But I own it with lots of things. And you're saying I'm proud of you, whatever, but I actually do that a lot. I will own the
And I'm
fact.
proud of
when
you
I've
every
got
time.
sometimes it might take me a little time if it's something like heavy. That I'll go, you know what,
Can you give
I
me an
need,
example?
or like I'm saying, if there's something on my mind and I can feel the energy because I can feel
Hello.
it.
You're like a human barometer for energy. Can you just tell everyone how you felt about me yesterday?
Oh yeah, yesterday in the morning setting up for the party, I was like, stay clear.
But you said you were like, your energy is not subtle.
No, it's not subtle.
Really?
It's yeah.
See, I feel like I am some days. But am I more
You
just
think
like,
that.
I'm not, am
But
I?
no, it's like you say, it's my barometer that I'm like, yeah, I just feel
Is it my face? What gives it away?
No, it's the energy. I'm sorry. Okay, that might sound woo-woo, but I am all the woo-woo if
No,
you
we
haven't
are.
worked that out by now. But yeah, it was the energy and I just feel energy. And sometimes it might be just a text message that you've sent me and I'll be like,
yeah,
voice
see.
memo, what's going on? Feeling it in that message. Explain.
But hang on, how do you like...
I feel it.
I totally get it. I totally get what you're saying. But
But have I always been right with you?
no.
Yes. No. No.
No, let's argue about it.
No, because I remember one time and there was
No,
something.
there was
it wasn't.
one you definitely were that
it
time.
wasn't
I know
me,
exactly
but
which
something
one.
had just gone on with you, and you were just
Yes. And you were
you're
just like out of the blue. You're like, what's going on with you? And I was like,
Yes.
no, nothing. And you were like, nah, don't bullshit.
and then you're like, oh, well, that just happened on the other side. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm feeling it.
That was so bananas that time.
Yes.
No, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about it's when I do it often. I try not to be on my phone. We've talked about this a little
Yes.
bit. When I'm with like the kids.
Yes.
When I'm with family, especially when I'm with clients, I don't have my phone with me if I'm
Yeah.
in session. There are times when like during the day I will pick up my phone and there'll be a barrage of messages, not just from you, but from other people in my life. And I just
other people? Wow, I thought it was
surprising.
just me. Damn.
It's like Joya, you, my cousin, my sisters, my brother.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but the I will do a quick response just so you know I've seen it, and I'll do like a all good or just a thumbs up or something, and I can see how for me that would be a very short and abrupt message that seems out of character, and so often it then turns into a bigger conversation because people are like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I spend more time having to respond and explain it. And I'm like, but now you're taking up more time.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to respond because I'm like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
And I leave it. And then because I've left it, they think something's wrong.
Yeah.
I can't win.
See?
Own it.
But I do. I own it. But when I feel like if there's some tension or something, I'm like, and that might take me a little bit of time to build up the courage, but I always go there. I will always go there.
I'm a big fan of like, I can't sit in a room with elephants.
No.
So I will sit in a room with people and be like, so what's going on with you? Can we talk about that? And they're like, oh no. Like, but hey, I noticed this the other day with you, and just owning those conversations. How are you with like friends and stuff? Do you do that? You do it with me. I'm assuming you do it with all your close, with your close friends,
When the timing's right. Sometimes it might be if we're in a group situation.
Yeah.
But no, I'll try or I'll pick up the phone, if it's someone close. I'm like, is everything okay? I'm feeling a bit weird.
Some people don't like having the phone call, I've noticed as well. They don't like the phone. They can't have an actual conversation. They like to do it over text because text obviously protects you a bit more. You feel like you can voice your thoughts without. Yeah. Whereas I'm like, get on the phone. Yeah. Just pick up the phone. We could sort it out in 2 minutes versus 15 text messages.
Yep. Only last night, Eugene mentioned something to me after our first birthday party.
Go on.
And he goes, next time you see this person, just maybe check in, with them because maybe you made them feel uncomfortable today. And I said, wait until I see them next. This is happening now. So there I was on the phone. He
Straight
goes,
away.
are you doing it now? I'm like,
yeah. I won't sleep tonight.
Yeah, absolutely not. So I messaged straight away and absolutely not. They were 100% fine, and it was all great. But I'm like, because there was no way that I could see how they could have felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, no, I've got to get rid of this right now. And I did. And they were like, are you joking?
See, the thing that I like about that, and the thing that I love about like my circle of friends and our circle of friends and our community that we've got here with Livin listeners and whatnot, there's no guessing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, sometimes you wonder, you have people in your life that you're like, I wonder, are they upset with me? Did I just something to upset them? Or where do I stand with them? There's no guessing where you stand.
Yeah.
I don't need you to guess. I want you to know if I love you, I love you. If I've got you in my corner, you're in my corner. If I'm upset with you, you know. If you know what I mean? And vice versa, I would expect the same. If I've done something wrong, come to me and say, she does. She does.
I do. But you know what it is? If you're in my circle or if you're in my corner, I give you everything.
But that's
so
what
if
you
I
should
feel
do.
like if there's something wrong, I want to fix it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my little, take on things, I just take a step back. If I don't really care if you're in my corner or not. Like if you're not in my
Depends on the person.
So I'm happy to
You'll fight with and for the ones you love.
Correct.
And I think that goes with both friends, family, and even strangers and colleagues and peers. Like there are definitely people that I work with as what I would consider like a satellite person who sort of comes in and out of my orbit or vice versa, where I will definitely give them everything for that time.
Yep.
But I'm not, it's also they're giving it to me too. Whereas there are ones that you're like, oh, I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, so if I take a step back, maybe we're just not as close as we thought.
Everyone's
and that's okay.
sitting at home now thinking like, has
Is it me?
taken a step back?
No. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I will...
But that's the part that I think is hard today, right? The thing that I find really hard today for everyone is so busy.
Yeah.
And therefore everyone can misinterpret depending on how they're feeling, which is the biggest thing. Don't forget, whatever narrative or inner monologue you're having with yourself about like how you're feeling about yourself and those around you any given day, you will then find the things in your day-to-day interactions to support your thoughts. So if you go, oh, I've done something wrong, this person hasn't spoken to me, you could just look at anything and be like, I haven't spoken to them for 3 weeks. And in that 3 weeks, I felt this way. And that's why they're not talking to me because I did that.
Yeah.
No, they might just be really busy. Doesn't mean they love you any less.
But that's what I do. I overthink it.
You? I feel like, you are. You definitely overthink. But you own it when you get there. That's the thing like we've been talking about today.
I will own it, but the thing is, I'm not saying I'm not capable of hurting someone, but the intention, that's never the intention. I've definitely got the capability to probably do something to piss you off, But I need to know if it has pissed you off because let me explain it. Oh
totally.
My gosh.
But only then, that's the only way you will get feedback and learn what behaviour of your own, be that natural or reactive, impacts others around you.
Yes.
And I find that, like, I've got friends who I've had conversations with them where I've brought up something to them and been like, hey, like, can we talk about this? Because this is how it's making me feel and impacting us. Or I just want to clear the air.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh my God, no, not at all. I'm so happy that you've brought this to me.
Yes.
And then it might be like a week or two goes past and we hear nothing. And then I'll hear from someone else be like, oh, you really pissed off such and such. And I'll be like, what are you talking about? And they'll be like, well, they said that you said this. And then they've got an issue. And I'm like, but I brought my issue to them.
Oh.
Why are they not bringing the issue to me?
I'm not opening this can of worms, but I am. Yes.
You feel that? Like, I've had that happen many times. And I say many times, only historically.
Yeah.
It actually hasn't happened to me in the last decade at least.
Okay.
Do you know why? It's the people around me.
Yeah.
Now, like, you filter that out as well and be like, you're not my people.
Yeah.
And that's okay too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So owning those things, I think, are so important. And it's about self-awareness. I know I can be a lot. Mm-hmm. Do you know what? One of my best friends, I love to bits. He was there yesterday celebrating with us. Yep. He celebrated so many things of milestones in my life. And I love him for it. One of my best friends. He said to me years ago, your love can be overwhelming.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, you love so deeply and so hard.
Yes.
And you care so much that you don't have that fear of bringing up tough conversations or bringing things to the forefront that people are not going to like, that it can be overwhelming for someone like him who, for example, he's an only child. He, historically doesn't necessarily say a lot because he's just more of a peacekeeper or doesn't have to argue with brothers and sisters growing up. So he doesn't have that resolution model or conflict model. And we still are best friends through high school, and like we went through some of the toughest things in life together where we've really supported and lent on one another. And I remember one day being like, are you okay? And he was like, you're just so overwhelming in your love that I feel not worthy, not unworthy of it, and I don't want to be ungrateful, but it's like I don't know how to absorb it. I don't even know how to take it. And then I'm like, why do you love me like that so much? And I'm like, well, because I care for you.
Some people think it's, they want something, they take a while. But no, some people think that. That's what I think. This is why he's saying he's overwhelmed by your love. And I have only recently, it's so weird that you're bringing this up because in the past, I've spoken about it on the podcast, I've been told to keep a bit to myself, don't give everything. And recently one of my best friends has said the same to me. She goes, Nance, she goes, you are such a feeler of energy. You know when something's up.
Hello.
She goes, I just wish maybe you didn't give so much because when you hurt, you're going to hurt like I have recently been hurt, by situations. So she's like, maybe I just wish but then I get messed up in my head because me being me, if I'm going to give you 100%, I can only give you 100%. I can't give you 99.
Yeah.
That's why I hate school pickup because I can only give 80, 60, 70, too many heads.
It's funny that you say that because that's what it felt like at the party. It's like hosting a party where you walk around and you're like you're worrying about everybody else. Have you eaten?
Yes.
Have you drunk? You having a good time? Nice. I feel like I didn't have or I don't have at those situations a lot of deep conversations.
No, and that's where, we're not good with small talk.
Nah.
We need deep talk.
Oh, big talk, guys.
Big talk.
Talk big with me.
Yeah.
I want to hear your life's dreams and aspirations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, it's crazy. And while we've been on this recording journey today, no, I haven't got a reply from George or Michael.
George or Michael.
Come on.
Because you got to have faith.
I knew this was going there.
I love it. I love it.
But that's, yes. Have you owned it and has it backfired maybe?
Do you own it? Can you own your stuff ups? Can you own your faults? Can you own the big love that you might have?
Yeah.
Own it.
I
love it. Hey, tell me, we haven't done it for a couple of weeks. Horrendous, tremendous.
Well, we have already owned the fact that this episode is being filmed the morning after our first birthday party.
So we
have owned that.
And it's going to be horrendous. Tremendous.
Tremendous. Still donning my living tat over here. Love was in the air, in the room. So much love, so much gratitude. Tremendous.
That's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah.
I have nothing for horrendous today.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, perfect. That's a perfect episode.
Done.
I'll say it. It's on the record. Guys, this is Livin. Have a great week. We hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are.
Am I living? Oh, what a funny thing to say. But as your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day.
George Michael, where are you? Maybe we should go get a glam.
I mean, I'll start the cat.